Yo YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy AJ here, back at it again with another video. And in today's video we're going to be talking about, yes, Kuro Games has built out a good enough roster for us guys, and we're going to talk about something spicy. I know some people are going to be happy, I know some people are going to be upset. It's okay, we understand what type of video this is. We're going to be talking about the top 5 future-proof characters. That's right, within the characters that are in the game, which 5 characters are going to be the most future-proof in my opinion. But first and foremost, before we get into a spicy video, if you would please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. We're trying to get to 10k. We're trying to be the top Wuthering Waves creator in the space. Thank you guys for keeping the lights on this channel. Without further ado, let's get into a video. So yes guys, we're going to be talking about the top 5 future-proof characters. That means from now to, let's say, 6 months from now, a year from now, what characters do I think will still stand the test of time in general? Now we'll go with number 5 and we'll go up to number 1. Now number 5 is a little bit of a tough one for me. I was debating between 2 characters and then came to a realization, and you guys will see why I didn't rank a certain character. I'll explain later on, maybe when we get to number 2. But number 5 is going to be, just in general, the Rover themselves. Now, the reason why number 5 is somewhat not a cop-out answer, I was debating between myself, was it cop-out or was it not, is because Spectral Rover has done so many amazing things in the games with, if you play with the character, if you master the rotation or how the character moves with the different teams you can put it on, and then you've seen solo clears with the Spectral character in general. It's a good character. Then we got the Havoc one, and we still need the 3 other resonance chains for the Havoc Rover, and the Havoc Rover is a pretty good character that you can pair up with other DPSs as well to make offensive heavy team comps. So it's all around a really nice character. Kuro has really not let us down in the meta as far as Rover is concerned, so that aspect of it is very nice, especially when potentially we all know, basically just like how the Hoyo games follow, and Kuro is following the Hoyo model in a sense. They got the Spectral Rover, they got the Havoc Rover, so whatever Kuro potentially decides to give Rover the next element in the future, right, I'm sure it's going to be top tier in meta, but I'm only going to put it at number 5 because I don't know how strong it will be. Now number 4 is an interesting one, but I think a lot of people will agree when I explain my explanation. Number 4 is Jiny. Now in my opinion, is the DPS gonna drop off for Jiny anytime soon? No, not at all. I think with Jiny, she's sort of the top DPS for a long while. There are other DPSs that will come to the game, like the free Changle has like a mini Jiny nuke with him, when you pop his ult and he's got the res liberation buffs on him, right? It's very nice. The thing with Jiny is right now, guys, she's kind of like the first unit that has honestly a very premium team that you can run. You can run her, Jeja or Jay-Z right here, basically, right? And then you can run a sustain like Ske Keeper, which when you have these 3, right, Jeja and Jiny build the bar up fast enough for a coordinated attack, and the amount of buffs that this character gives, like she kind of basically prevented power creep in general with any character from falling off. She only makes every character stronger practically, and just Jiny's power at where she's at right now feels untouched, so that even if a new DPS comes out, there would have to be a set team in place in order for them to take over Jiny's spot. And even if they do take over Jiny's spot as a top dog, Jiny's still gonna be ridiculously strong, but she's kind of already peaked at where she can be, you know what I mean? I think if Kuro makes enemies harder, they can only make them HP sponges to sort of knock Jiny off. But if they don't go that route and just focus on the combat and challenge at hand, this girl's always going to be good for the long run. Now number 3 is, it's a little bit of cheating, guys, but I'm going to call it I couldn't decide between both of them because they both fit the same value, and we'll talk about that. Is these 2 characters right here, Yinlin and Jeji. Now why are Yinlin and Jeji number 3 in future proof? Sub DPSs are going to be the most hard characters to get rid of, in my opinion, in this game. The reason being is because not only do they buff their main element, giving them elemental damage, so whoever you pair them up with, electro, ice, depending on what's the next sub DPS that Kuro wants to relieve, obviously that element's going to get buffed. But then on top of that, they buff certain categories of characters in the game. So like Yin Lin, the liberation type characters you can use. You got what's it called, a bunch of them in here. You have Zhang Liao, you have Cal Charo. I'm missing one on top of my mind right now. I feel like I'm missing one. I don't know who. I feel like there's 3 right now that I should be saying, but definitely you guys get the point. It's like just res liberation characters. Yin Lin does buff and provide them great damage boosts on top of doing great off-field damage and decent on-field damage as well. Same with Zhezha, following the same concept. And honestly guys, if there's a third sub DPS, I'd put them on here. It's hard to replace these characters. These characters will be buffing future DPSs. We all know Kuro's gonna keep making more DPSs in general, and that's just how these gacha games go, guys. Like, you play HSR, you play Genshin Impact and stuff like that, you typically get more DPSs, but you get less supports. And when you do get these supports, sometimes you have them for a set team and they're really good for a long time, and then it really takes like that next support character to be more monster than them. And even then you're kind of debating, like, do you really need that other support when these guys are doing their job well? You know what I mean? So yeah, the sub DPS is definitely number 3. Number 2 is a little bit of an interesting one, and I want everybody, if you made it this far, to post in the comment section below, out of all these characters right here, who is number 2? Because now this gets really interesting, and I don't know if some people will know or if some people will know, because I've said something about this character in the past. All right, now that you guys may have put it down, it is Changle, and a lot of people may be confused, but now it's time to get into explanation. Now, if you ever noticed my tier list with Changle, I've never rated Changle on the higher end, and then I started doing where I think all the characters are in terms of value, not rating them higher or lower. But I've always said this: when Changle released, Changle does a great amount of damage, and she has she has a good option, and you can also run her with Encore. The interesting thing about Changle, though, when you look at her kit, I said Changle is the first hybrid character in the game where she does amazing burst damage. It's just good all around damage for main DPS, but she's giving buffs. And that's the thing that I said, like, she's giving buffs to the next user, and she's not a sub DPS character. She is a main DPS. This character, when you read into the kit, it's almost designed for a future character to come in and pair with her well. And I've talked about Changle too, and I've said 2 things, right, guys, that are going to play into our future team comp that are going to make her valuable. The reason why she's not going to fall off and she's ranked so high, number 1, at that point, with how quickly you can get Changle's burst and rotation off, then she can fit that sort of sub DPS role, meaning you're still putting out main DPS damage numbers, but she's taking that role of a sub DPS. But I want to talk about something that could potentially be coming that's crazy for Changle. There could be in the future an offensive comp where you see Changle, another DPS that benefits from the buff she's giving, so 2 DPSs and a sub DPS, meaning if you're confident in your rotations, dodging, and timing, so there could be a fusion sub DPS, another main fusion DPS, right, that benefits from Changle's buffs. You could slap all 3 of those on a team. You could have the most crazy offensive fusion team in the game right there. And it's not even just fusion, you can even exclude the element now. It's just that team comp looks like it would destroy everything on path. I don't know what it would look like on paper, right? But certainly if you start reading in between the lines of what Kuro's doing with characters and kits, yeah, there's definitely Changle's partner still missing. I don't know who it's going to be or when it's going to come, but definitely I think it's going to be a monster character. And number 1, to wrap this up, and I think most of us already know the answer, the most future-proof character is, and there's no need to stall about it, is the fact it's Ske Keeper. Yeah, guys, when Kuro Games designed her, they basically said, let's give everybody a waifu, let's give everybody an amazing design character, let's bring her out with an amazing design map, oh, and then let's make her overly powered, super amazing buffs, practically making you invincible. Oh, and when you're about to get hit, normally when your character would get knocked out, she's gonna save you by gutting half her health and giving it back to you. This character is ridiculously insane. It's a must pull character at this point for almost anybody, and if you missed out on her or lost to 50-50 for her, the only thing I can say is Kuro did start reruns with Jiny, So I think they will be doing reruns regardless now going forward, now that they've started it. When her rerun comes back, if you guys have not gotten her or lost to 50-50, try to grab her. You know what I mean? Try to save up and grab her, because this character, even if they release another support type character, I don't think it's going to be another support type character like her. She's just way too broken, and she just makes life a lot easier. It's like it's crazy. It's like a quality of life update in a character. But all in all, this is my list of the top 5 characters that are future proof. Let me know down in the comment section below, who should I put on the list, who should I have knocked off. Yeah, guys, I would love to hear your comments. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. It's been your boy AJ. It's late at night. I'm gonna upload this. I'm gonna catch some Z's, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.